TFM 93.68 after 12 o'clock. Good afternoon and welcome to the A-List. I go by the name of the Pioneer, Mr. Karakara, holding it down for you between 12 and 3 p.m. today. Yeah, I know it's a miracle. It hardly happens. But yes, joining me on the show today, I do have, from the left, the spokesperson of the Tshwane University of Technology, Ms. Willa. Not going solo, of course, from, the executive management of the Tshwane University of Technology, I do have Professor Mukhola. He was famously known as Dr. Mukhola, but, he actually got his professorship just this year. Like I said, a lot has happened this year, but let's just, say hello to them. Good afternoon and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mukesi. Thank you very much, and to all your listeners of TFM.
Mr. Writer.
Pioneer.
2015, let's just get straight to it, short and sharp. 2015 has been a very busy year for all of us, and you'd agree that especially for all employees or professionals within the higher education and training spectrum. Now looking at the fact that there's been movements like the Heroes Must Fall movement that started in Cape Town. There was the Fees Must Fall movement that happened at the union buildings. But now, despite the busy year that happened, here it is today. You guys have actually published results. Your students managed to write, which is something that most institutions couldn't write. Now, tell us about the examinations that were not written in the social movie campuses where there was disruption. So what is the way forward in making sure that those students are going to write come the year 2016?
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity, and thanks for all the Tshwane listeners, Tshwane FM listeners. Indeed, a challenging year 2015 kept us on our toes all the way. And then here we are, of course, now today with the results have been released. If I can just retreat now with the social media issues. Indeed, students at social media, about 12,000 of them couldn't write. So what we did is to actually put plans together to make sure that now they also take their time to write examinations. So we are saying to all our students out there, come back on the 4th of January and prepare for the exams to start on the 11th to the 29th of January. We have put our plans together. We are busy preparing the Genko Hall where the exams will take place. What I can assure our listeners is now we are going to put a very strong security to make sure that now only TUT students, those who are registered, will actually gain access to our campus. That's the first thing. And again, only students who qualify to write examinations will be able to access our campus and our Genko Hall. What we request from the students to bring along their ID, their current student card, and then today, as I speak with you now, we are busy sending examination admission slips. That will actually reflect the subject that they qualified. And those are the only subjects that they are going to be allowed to enter the hall and write. The other things will not actually be allowed. So we make sure that now, those who want to come and write, they'll be protected. And unfortunately, those who are going to miss this opportunity, they've missed up the year 2015. They have to restart all over again, unfortunately.
Can I just add there to what Prof. Mukhola is saying? From the 4th of January, there will also be a facility available at the entrance to the Soshanguve South campus for those students who have not received their examination slips. It will be printed there, but they will not gain access to the campus without that slip.
Now speaking about, for instance, we know that most of the students might be coming from places like, KZN, Limpopo, and all those places. Will they find accommodation, those who are staying in residences?
Of course, that's the plan. This is why we say now they'll find all the facilities, the catering will be there, they will actually be accommodated. Those who actually had in 2015 accommodation. Those who actually would be day scholars, they have to find space where they have been sitting all along. We are only going to take students who actually were in residencies in 2015 into the residencies, because remember, we have got crisis in here. There will be new students coming on the 1st of February. So we need to have to make space for our new students and our current students who must complete their year and get a qualification.
So if you are around Pretoria and if you are a student and you've been asking yourself on whether what is the way forward come the year 2016, I think we gave you a green light on that one, that yes, examinations will be taking place. Now, just before we actually, move, we thought, running with time right there. Now, Prof, there's been a lot of students, particularly on social media and all these other platforms, who are concerned about the fact that they are in debt with the university. What is the arrangement for those who are owing the university in moving forward?
We are really calling all our students. If I can just start here, Mukesi, to say, university, as I sit with you now here, we are owed about 519.1 million rands. That's a lot of money. Without money, university cannot run. So we are actually mindful of that now. Some of our students are not able to pay here and there. We made arrangements with all our campuses. If you are coming from Limpopo, you can go and settle your debt at our campus in Polokwane. If you are coming from Bombela, the same at Malahleni. And even here on campus, we have arranged in Soshangobe for those who want to settle their debt, they must go to the North Campus. But here in Pretoria, of course, they must come to Building 21. To make sure that now those who are able to pay must pay, and those who cannot pay must make what we call now AOD. To arrange that now, they pay what actually is owed to the university, because we need money to survive. This university is university for the people. So for it to survive, we need to get cash.
Now,
Can I add one thing there? People must just also remember that TUT is a cashless institution. Payments must please be made either by EFT, or the money must be paid into the TUT account, and the information of our account details is available on www.tut.aec.za.
Yeah, indeed. In case you didn't hear that, that is www.tut.ac.za. Now, Mr. Director, before we actually move to the next point, can you just briefly take us through what are some of the documents that are needed for one to actually settle this acknowledgement of debt procedure?
Well, a copy of the parent's ID, and then also proof of income, that's very important, and proof of residence. They must provide that, and then also if they make any payments to the bank, then they must bring that proof of payment along.
So in a case where a student is perhaps working elsewhere, and they are the ones who want to settle the debt, is it allowed, or they still need to come with a parent or a guardian?
The parent or guardian who's responsible for paying that bill must come along with them. If they're going to pay their own outstanding debt, then they can come and make the arrangement on their own. But it's vital for them to do that, to continue their studies and to receive their certificates if they completed their studies.
I can add there, Mukhola, why we're trying to say the parent or the guardian must come this time. We're trying to avoid where we have been saying students must actually prepare an affidavit. We have noted that now. They actually give affidavits wrong way, and then they simply get anything from the state, and that's not helping. We take it that now parents sometimes are not even aware that now their students who are here or their children who are here are not paying the fees. So we are saying, please, as a parent, take the responsibility, come and settle the debt, come and see what your child is owing, settle that debt, that now the child could continue with the education.
It's 15 minutes after the hour, 12 o'clock, in case you just jumped in. It is the A-list between 12 and 3 p.m. Yes, on Tshwane FM 93.6, the station that rocks you most. It is, of course, Gauteng's fastest growing radio station by far. And yes, I said 2015 was the year where we saw a number of things happening, of course. And here we are, we're speaking about, the challenges in higher education. We're trying to find ways in which we can assist students who are indebted. And here's a system that works for you best as a student if you are at the Tshwane University of Technology. Now, back to you, Prof. Fees must fall. I think we cannot divorce it from the challenges that we're facing as TUT. Now, we saw everything that has happened, just this year, and looking at some of the the amendments that were done by other institutions, how do you think is it going to impact TUT coming into the year 2016?
Firstly, I must indicate, Mukhola, that now we as a university also support the issues of free education, but that must be done in a responsible way. We say currently there's no policy that says there's free education. There's NSFAS that actually assists our students who are actually in need of their education. In order for us now to get our students who are indebted, we need to make sure that now they make arrangements in order for them to come to the system. Yes, the fees must fall, has come, but unfortunately, it has come up with a lot of violence at TUT. If you look at the damage that we have actually incurred, I can tell you that as I sit here, the damage that was caused for TUT is about 8 million rands. And where do we get that money? And unlike other universities where the project was just peaceful, but TUT, of course, we are mindful that now the students who caused this violent protest are some of the people who are not even students anymore. This is why I say we are going to make sure that now we are not going to allow any person who is not a TUT student to access our campus. Indeed, they must come and settle their debt. They must make sure that now education continues, because education without any finance cannot actually succeed.
And Mr. Wright, I think we're moving to the next one now. This one is a burning one, and I know that you've been, we've seen you in a lot of, media publications where you're speaking about this one, the No Walkings campaign. tell us about that, because I mean, if Prof is now saying that you guys are not going to allow any students to come in without identification, so now what happens to those students who normally would traditionally come in institutions with the late applications system? Can you just briefly take us through that one? How does it work?
I think in 2016 it's going to be even more important for people not to walk onto campuses because of the examinations that will be taking place, and it might disturb some of the activities that are going to take place from the 11th of January. We have an online application inquiry system which has been working very well for the past 3 years. It's available on www.tut.ac.za, and it will be up and running from 11 to 15 January. And the way the system works is that prospective students can go and check if there's space available in the course that they are interested in. If there is space available, they can submit one inquiry. If they meet the academic requirements for that specific course, they will be invited to submit their application online as well. And then the rest of the process will be followed. If there are interviews or admission tests or whatever to be written, they will be informed via SMS.
So even for those who have applied and have not got any responses, they must be patient. The university is still busy with that responses, right?
Yes. Please do not walk onto campus. You can go to the website to check your status, and if there's no information, rather phone the contact centre on 086 110 2421. It's going to be a lot cheaper than to come to campus, and it's going to be a lot easier for you to just do your things online or via the call centre.
01238244936. On Facebook it is 20 space FM space 93.6. On Twitter it's at 20 FM. And of course 20 minutes have passed since the hour 12 o'clock. You are on the A-list officially between 12 and 3 o'clock with myself, the pioneer, Mr. Karakara. And I'm going with the spokesperson of the Tshwane University of Technology, Ms. Dila, the writer right there. And of course Prof Mukhola is in the house as well, speaking about the hashtag fees must fall. And of course Prof, I saw an article here on News 24. There's an article again on some newspapers that the Vice Chancellor spoke on regarding fees must fall. But as well, there's a recent one that says that allegedly government has actually boosted NEFSAS with 4.5 billion, looking at the shortfalls that have actually happened, and looking at the fact that there will be no fee increases coming into the year 2016. So how do you think this will actually impact institutions like TUT and other former disadvantaged universities, if I may say?
We welcome that. We have seen that actually have a printout of the statement, but unfortunately, as we sit in here, we don't have official statement from government. So I take it this is a process that they are going to put in place to make sure that now this thing goes through government, get approved by cabinet. Before we get that information actually official as a university, we cannot rely on that information up to now. We really say if that happens, we would actually welcome the idea. The arrangement that we are making, if that money comes in, it will fall off. But for now, because there's no guarantee that that money is being put in our account, we cannot rely on that statement at the moment, unfortunately.
Mr. Writer, you've been at the center of most of these actually quagmires that have been happening in the higher education and training section. Now, looking at the fees must fall campaign that has happened this year, and looking at the status of universities now, and just going towards 2016, what impact do you think this will have actually on institutions?
It's going to have a huge impact on institutions. It has already had an impact as far as damage to our property has been concerned, the reputation damage to institutions, and I think we acknowledge the right of students to protest, and we've been very vocal about that, and we've been vocal about our support for the fee-free education, but we need to follow policy and we need to follow procedure, and things need to be done in a disciplined manner. What I would also like to draw attention to is TUT started its own initiative to assist students, and I would like to invite stakeholders and especially alumni to contribute to the TUT Bursary and Scholarship Fund. It was launched towards the end of 2014. It's been growing very well. There's about R1 million in the fund now, and there is a proportion to which it's going to divide it. The percentage will be reinvested to ensure that it keeps growing to assist future generations, and then there's also a portion of the money that will be made available in 2016 already to assist students.
So universities are not just sitting down; they are also, making means of making sure that